Good day! Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Saturday, March 5, 2022, brought to you by Wilkin Depot, the country's leading home improvement and construction supplies retailer. Shop conveniently 24/7 with the Wilkin online store. Just go to shop.wilkin.com.ph. The head of the United Nations Atomic Agency says it has a training center at a Ukrainian nuclear power plant that was hit by a Russian projectile. Earlier reports conflicted over what part of the plant was affected by fire that broke out after shelling. Nuclear plant spokesman Andrei Tuz told Ukrainian television overnight that shells fell directly on the facility and set fire to the reactor that is not operating and to an administrative training building. International Atomic Agency Director General Rafael Mariano Grossi said on Friday that the building hit was a training center and not part of the reactor. He said the Ukrainians are still in control of the reactor. Back here, President Rodrigo Duterte has enacted a measure amending the country's foreign investments law to lure more businesses into locating in the Philippines. Signed on March 2, Republic Act 11647 eases some restrictions on foreign investments to help speed up the recovery of the country's economy from the COVID-19 pandemic. Among the amendments is the reduction of the number of direct hires for foreign companies from 50 to 15 to help attract smaller foreign investors. Senatorial candidates were split on whether to support a non-aggression treaty with China, one of the topics taken up during the SMNI debate on Thursday night. Former Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission Chairman Gregor Belgica rejects such a pact, while Jesus Aranza and Nur Mahal Kiram said they would consider it if the pact benefits the Philippines. Aranza, chairman of the Federation of Philippine Industries, said he was for it, but only if it reorganizes the arbitral ruling supporting the Philippines' claim over the West Philippine Sea. Kiram said she would support a treaty if this would be beneficial for the Philippines. In its 2016 ruling, the Permanent Court of Administration rejected China's 9-line principle in claiming almost 80% of the South China Sea, including the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. President Rodrigo Duterte, meanwhile, has been downplaying the tribunal victory in favor of getting loans and grants from China. Clarifications were made on Friday by the camp of former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio, and that of Vice President Maria Leonor Leni Robredo and Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan on perceptions that respectively they were chickening out from public scrutiny and were using the Catholic Church to advance their campaigns for the presidency and vice presidency in the upcoming elections. Lawyer Victor Rodriguez, Marcos' spokesman, denied having said that national and local candidates of the so-called unit team, bannered by the former senator and the Davao City Mayor, will no longer participate in any organized debate. Meanwhile, Rodriguez's counterpart in the Robredo-Pangilinan camp also denied that the two top candidates of the Liberal Party are taking advantage of the pulpit to push forward their candidacies in the May 9 elections. Ibarra Barry Gutierrez III, also a lawyer and the Office of the Vice President spokesman, in another statement said church visits of Robredo are simply for conversions and prayer and are sponsored and arranged by the parishes themselves. Over to business, the Philippine Statistics Authority reported on Friday that the country's headline inflation rate remained at 3% in February, the lowest in over a year, with utility rates and energy prices being the biggest drivers. According to PSA data, the current rate is the slowest since October 2020, when it was 2.3%. It is within the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas' projected range of 2.8 to 3.6% and slower than the 3.2% average estimate of economists polled by the Manila Times. The year-to-date increase in consumer prices was at 3%, still within the central bank's target range of 2 to 4% for 2022. In sports, Filipino Olympian pole vaulter Ernest John Obiena sent a letter to the Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association dated on February 24, asking for the National Sports Association's endorsement for him to represent the country in the World Indoor Athletics Championships, Southeast Asian Games, World Athletics Championships, and the Asian Games for this year. However, the PATAFA responded with a letter to Obiena dated on February 28, saying that it will only entertain his request upon the completion of the mediation process being brokered by the Philippine Sports Commission to patch the nagging issue between the Olympian and the Federation. Antonio Contreras and Dian Macabenta are today's front-page columnists. Contreras discusses the failure to file income tax returns, while Macabenta tells COMELEC on what the format of their debate should look like. Today's editorial believes the country needs to prioritize permanent solutions to energy shocks. Read the full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and keep up with the Times. On behalf of the Manila Times, this is Arik John Seco reporting. Have a safe weekend ahead.